enemy has taken the initiative.
I challenge you to a duel.
Hi and welcome to War Thunder. My name is Korpen and today we are going to have a look at the T-35. A hilarious tank to say the least. Through gameplay I will walk through this tank's selling points and the weak points of this tank, and it's gonna be obvious. But I don't know, let's give you a short review. Should you spend the Golden Eagles to get this thing? Absolutely not. Not unless you're a real tank fan and you're out for something really derpy and funny to play. Perhaps with your friends. I guess these kinds of tanks would be better in a squad if you play them. Something like the TOG 2 of World of Tanks. But in this game the TOG 2 comes in another form, and that is the multi-turreted T-35 Heavy Tank. The first heavy tank on the Russian tree, to be honest. Sitting at the battle rating of 1.3. And this tank was just a disaster of a tank, really. Design-wise, you know. Let's just count the turrets on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why have 5 turrets on a tank? It just doesn't make sense. But then again, that was the design trend of the tanks at the time. And yeah, oh my god, did the tank designer learn a lot during World War II, because this thing was actually around during the 30s, and I think that it saw combat during the early war years, and perhaps even in Operation Barbarossa, but yeah, these things didn't really cut it at all. Basically you don't have a chance against a Panzer III or a Panzer IV. If you face them, you might just as well just face death, you know. It's a certain death, unless you're really lucky and they don't notice you and you can snipe them. That's when you win a duel against a Panzer IV. But if they spot you at roughly the same time as you spot them, you're dead. But yeah, let's have a look at some gameplay and see what this tank is about. So yeah, here's me on Berlin trying out the T-35, and have a look at this. The marvelous traverse speed on the hull. This tank is just awesome. It's almost incapable of traversing in neutral or in first gear. It really does need some speed to be able to traverse effectively, or even traverse at some kind of degree. But don't worry, it's not all bad things with this tank. I have some good things to say about it as well. But those good things will have to wait a little bit longer. I spend the first few minutes of the match just hanging out here in the back, trying to support my team. Trying to keep them safe and alive, and I do take some pot shots at a few tanks like this one here, but no, not much happens in the early stages of the game, so we're gonna cut over to a much more interesting phase of the battle. So initially my team went in to cap the zone, and they actually took the A zone. But then it seems like most of our light tanks started to take casualties, and I decided to move up to support them, but all of a sudden I was alone. And I spotted this tank just over yonder across the Tiger, and I decided to take a pot shot and try to lob in the grenades on him. It seems like I hit him, luckily, so yeah, now I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna have this guy, and I'm trying to hit him, but I fail. And now our team trying to recapture the capture point. and I am trying to gauge the distance, but this cannon isn't really all that good, and you really need to gauge the distances right, and that can be tricky with this thing, but eventually I got that guy, so that was nice. Lobbing in shells over the wreckage of a tiger, so yeah, I'm satisfied with that. And I spot this AAA truck moving up, trying to recapture the zone. But since I am parked in the middle of the field with a good field of view, I can easily stop him. And soon enough we'll have him. Yeah, he's done for. He burnt up. And then I'm trying to score the same kind of hit that I did earlier on, but on a different Panzer IV. But I'm not that lucky this time. But I spot him rolling over some trees, and yeah, he's there, but the distance isn't all that right. And I failed to hit him this time around as well. So just scanning for targets, trying to take some shots of opportunity. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here. And then I realized that, oh, they're actually recapping the zone again. So yeah, we need to get up there and into the capping zone. And here comes the awesome traverse of the tank again. And the speed and mobility is beyond belief. But man, does it have turrets, and that's great. So that means that you can fire in any direction. And by now I have some teammates to back me up as we push for the cap zone. And it seems like there's actually some tanks around that corner trying to keep their cap secured or trying to defend their cap. And yeah, I'm watching my friends closely here to see what kind of gun it is firing at them, what kind of fire rate it has, whether it's an automatic cannon or whether it's a howitzer gun or a cannon. And then someone calls in arty on us. And this thing doesn't really have armor, so this is a miracle that I survived through this. And I'm basically suspecting that there's gonna be a tank darting around that corner the second the inferno of the artillery really comes in. There's none. And so we'll wait. I know that there's a tank there. And yeah, sure enough, he thinks he's safe and it's all clear. So he comes around the corner and I pop him. And I'm having fun in this thing. I'm kinda suspecting that there might be more tanks as well. Although maybe not these numbers of tanks around the cap. I actually thought that it was only one, but turned out that I had to knock out two M2 stewards as well. And the gun on this tank really does work wonders against tanks with battle rating 1.0, 1.3 in this game. Someone calls in another arty barrage. This time it's not going to be all that easy to get away from the artillery. And I really don't have the speed or the maneuverability to get away from the arty, and I don't want to run out into the open here. But I kinda try to go into a middle ground and park somewhat in the open, but yeah, you knew that was coming, right? This thing doesn't have turret armor that will protect it from taking a direct hit from RT, so yeah, I am done for. And this next clip that we are going to have a look at will showcase a different feature of this tank, namely its ability to soak up damage that you can actually achieve from time to time. It's not common that you really soak up damage a lot of times. Often you just get one-shotted and that's it. But from time to time you can really position yourself in good positions where this thing will just soak up damage like nobody's business, and we're gonna have a look at that. And in case you didn't notice, we're on Poland, and as an odd one off, I choose to go down the center of the map. I very rarely do that, but in this thing I thought it was justified. So I see some fire coming from this area and going to the right, so that means that it's the fire of enemy tanks. So it's probably best to park and observe here and try to nail that Panzer III, but the distance is just too great for this gun to penetrate that side armor, even at that slightest of angles. So I just wait to see what's gonna happen here, and I'm thinking perhaps there'll be tanks moving out over the street and I'll have a good shot opportunity on them. And sure enough, there's a Panzer III. Hit him right in the hull and I knock him out. And there's a friend of his. I get hit, my commander gets knocked out. That's a Panzer IV, I believe. And that's also a Panzer 38T. I hit this track. Seems like I'm hitting tracks only, and yeah, then I finally get some nice hits on this guy. I can also spot another tank incoming there on the fire, and yeah, but I can't really turn the turret. I can only fire with the gun fixed in this position, so that's what I do. And I soak up some damage. Those guys are really starting to put some hurt on my tank. Fire, and eventually I kill that guy. And now I just have to wait for the repair. Or maybe that's not an option. No, I'm on fire, and yeah, but the tank is still doing okay. If we only can repair, it should be fine. So I start repairing. And whoops, there's another Panzer IV. And now I don't have any other weapon than a machine gun, so I use that. I totally forget, by the way, that I had a 45mm anti-tank gun that I could have used, so yeah, that one is on me this time. Meanwhile, we're just continuing to take that kind of punishment that I was talking about. And whoops, we're on fire again, so extinguish the fire. Oh, taking some more damage. Better start repairing. Another shot incoming. And yeah, what's happening? It's that. Oh, that is an enemy behind me. Okay, so try to turn around the turret. Oh, he disappeared. Alright. So how about that guy? Can I nail him? They obviously think that I'm dead, or they haven't seen me, so I open fire with my rear-facing 45mm gun. And yeah. This thing is actually dangerous in all directions. And even though the main tank and the main fighting compartment is all damaged beyond belief, you can still use the back turret if you get the chance. Just as long as the guys back there are okay, you're good to go. And it seems like the tanks I had up front had actually gotten knocked out by now, so I can safely traverse the turret around. Ooh, only if I can make it in time. Can I? Where is he? No, he's back then. Oh, but there's another guy. Hello, die. Yeah, that one's on me. You can have some of this. Oh no, you didn't like that, did you? And I thought I had him there, but yeah. Can't have everything, I guess. So meanwhile, we're just gonna wait here and repair. But obviously, I'm not gonna force you to sit through the whole repair cycle. So instead, I'm gonna recap it for you. During this time, I was starting to think whether that tank behind the building, whether it would come out on this side, on my left, or on the right side at my front. So I finally decide to traverse the tank's main battery around to the front. Because what I could do was that I could keep that turret to the front and try to have the secondary turret pointed at the back. Once that guy has repaired, what did you think he had done? Had he tried to flank me by going around the building? No, of course not. Of course it didn't. He just ran straight out and shot me through the turret. And that's what we're gonna see right here. My untimely demise. So I'm scanning for targets at the front, trying to spot that tank maybe coming up that way, but no, of course not. Of course he just prepared, and then he went around the corner and knocked me out one shot. And that's what I'm talking about. You can't get hit in this thing, especially not by Panzer 3s or Panzer 4s. You are gonna die. But sometimes you may take a vast amount of damage, depending on what kind of ammo they're using, but sometimes you just die at the first shot you take. So, while I've been rambling on about the damage model on this tank, we've switched battle and we're now on Normandy. And oh yes, this is still the T-35, and I do still have 5 turrets. It's just amazing how many turrets this thing has. It's almost like an octopus. And whoops, there's a tank. It's a Siamese twin, M2A2 Stuart tank, or a M2 light tank to be exact, and he gets the rough treatment right away. And there you can see how effective this howitzer gun, the 76.2mm howitzer on the main battery, really is. Although if you want to penetrate tanks and really defeat them, you should use the 45mm anti-tank gun on the side turret. But I tend to use the 76mm gun with the AP CVC shell, since it does pack a bit more of a high explosive filler. And hello, there's another M2. It seems that you really do employ a cloaking device if you just stay still in this thing. Nothing sees you, and we'll see some more of that during this gameplay. And I try to spot that M2. Where is he? There he is. Bang, and he just explodes right away. And that's what I like to see when I play this thing. So it seems like my flank that I'm trying to hold for my team does really hold quite well. So I decide to move up ever so cautiously here along the road, right next to the bush. So the bush will actually act as camouflage for me, since we're roughly in the same color pattern. Could get the first shot off at an enemy should they come down the road here. But I'm planning ahead, and I want to cross the hedgerow and get up between the buildings up here, where I can have a clear field of fire over the field. Just to be sure I check my flags, and whoops, there's Stuart. He gets the rough treatment, one shot and he dies. Now I'm actually using my secondary as well. And he has 3 shots, 3 kills with the main gun. And oh, there's a guy who just missed me, or he's not looking my way. And yeah, I hit him. I don't do any significant damage, but that's an engine shot. Now he is gone. He is done for. Yeah, he's on fire. Second shot to the left turret, and he is gone. And I can't really believe my luck there. I had 4 kills within, what, 10 seconds? Something like that, and it seemed like they didn't really see me at all, since I was just parked right next to the hedgerow, and I was so lucky to spot them before they could see me. Basically that's more or less the end of the game here. Oh yeah, I forgot I took some damage here. From that, I can't really see what it is. Stuart? Or it might be a M3 as well. Taking some hits anyway. And yeah, now we can adjust to the distance and I fire and... Whoops. The cannon breech was critically damaged. Yeah, that was it for me. So the rest of the battle, I'm just happily cruising away in my PO2, trying to get to the battlefield to bomb the last 2 tanks before the game ends. And do you think I'll get there in time? No, wouldn't think so. Not in the PO2. And this thing is slow. It's almost slower than the T-35's traverse rate. It's a real pain in the butt to fly. But it's fun and it's derpy. And it really did feel like that was something that I wanted to do after that kind of engagement with those tanks. And yeah, to sum things up, I can't really say that I hate the T-35. Can't really say that I love it either. It's like a love-hate relationship with this tank. And yeah, you know me, I tend to love-hate tanks and I play them. And I try to polish that turn into perfection. And so I'm probably gonna play this thing a few more games in the upcoming future. You might be lucky enough to see some more nice games. So let's have a look at the post-game stats here. Yeah, I got 6 kills. And I actually got some fair amount of rewards from that. Some good RP. So I guess you could use the T-35 as a grinder tank as well. But that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you for watching, guys. As always, if you want to, please subscribe to the channel for more content like this, more derpy stuff and some more information, more tactical thinking and reviews. And yeah, guess I'll see you guys around in the next video. Or I don't, and that's fine. Anyway, you've been welcome to join me for this video and I'll see you guys around.